What's good, y'all? We're back again with another video. Today we're here to talk about the Chicago Bulls. But before we get into this video, I've been told by a lot of y'all just to do this, so I want to say like and subscribe. Y'all been showing a lot of love in my videos, especially since I made the whole thumbnail change. Shout out to my guy Benzo. If you don't know who that is, I'm gonna put his Twitter page on the screen. But he's been making my thumbnails for like the last couple weeks, and the views been going up. So hit him up if you're trying to start YouTube or just a logo. You need a logo for anything. Like, he makes logos. He made my YouTube header if you didn't see that yet. Like, he's really good. So shout out to him because he's been helping me out a lot.
Again, I'm gonna stress this again, Bulls fans, if we don't want to hear it, this might be a very rough season for us.
Reason why I started off the video like that, because in the Who Has Hoops Twitter community, and I will put that on the screen too, because y'all have to go join the community. We are the best community on Twitter. But in that community, I am one of the Chicago Bulls haters. And that's just not true, because even your top guy, Kenny, King of the Fourth Quarter, one of the biggest Bulls fans in the world, that's what he says. But he is one of the biggest YouTubers as far as NBA YouTubers. And he is kind of the voice for the Chicago Bulls and NBA YouTube. And he even says this is going to be a hard season for you guys. And I've been saying the same thing, but I've been labeled as a hater, which is just not true. You have guys on your team that I'm literally stands of. I've been watching Zach LaVine since the Timberwolves. I've been a fan since the Timberwolves. Everybody's been watching Lonzo ball since Chino Hills, and I've been a stan since Chino Hills. They were fucking fun to watch. So I love both of those guys. I don't hate the Bulls. It's just this year I'm scared for y'all. Let's just start it off with the bad news. Lonzo Ball might be out for the whole season, and I kind of thought about that as soon as they drafted Dalen Terry, because I felt like you already have Lonzo, you have Alex, you have Ayo Dosunmu, you have Kobe White, and now you're drafting Dalen Terry. And then I really knew something was up when they signed Goran Dragic. So you have 6 guards on your team. Lonzo has to not be healthy, and that was just my thought. And it might be true. He's saying he can't even walk upstairs, he can't even jump, and now he's getting another surgery this week. I don't know the timetable that's like for the recovery after the surgery, but like that's scary news for y'all, because I felt like what Lonzo did was he was the heart of the team. Now, he's not the vocal leader, like the vocal heart, like Pat Bev and them guys are, like Draymond Green is. But like, as far as he set the tone for the defense, he also set the tone somewhat on offense and made them more fun to watch, because with him, you have to play fast, and that's what they did. That's why I feel like they started to decrease, because I feel like this is a fast-paced league, and you need a guy like Lonzo, and they didn't have that, and that's why you started getting more DeMar ISOs, more Zach LaVine ISOs, instead of just playing fast. And I felt like he set the tone with that, and losing him hurt. Now, looking at this team right now, they don't have that guy, and I think that's a huge loss. Alex Caruso can play some point guard, but I would look at him more as like a 2, or even a 3-and-D wing. He just not 6'5", 6'6", he's 6'3", 6'4". But I don't look at him as a legit point guard. Same thing with Ayo Dosunmu. I don't look at him as a legit point guard. So looking at this team, the one thing that they don't have is a legit point guard. Goran Dragic can be that, but he is 37 years old, and he's not a legit playmaking point guard. So losing Lonzo, I feel like that's going to hurt like a lot. But then we're talking about the positive sides of this team. I think with losing Lonzo, I think they did sort of get better. You bring veteran leadership in Goran Dragic, who I don't think he's fading away. I just think he's 37, so the all-star, all-NBA Goran Dragic we're not going to get, but he's still going to be a steady player. He was actually really decent for the Nets. And Andre Drummond, they have a lot of complaints about Vucevic, but I think Andre Drummond over the last 2 years has become one of the best backup centers we have in this league, if not the best, because they're giving him a role. That's something he never really had. Like, it's never been a coach that says, okay, you're here to do this. In Detroit, he was like a top 5, top 10 pick, so he was the lottery guy, so he can do whatever you want. Then he came to us, did the same thing. Then he went to the Lakers and did the same thing, but then you went to the 76ers and they made you the backup, and we've seen the best Andre Drummond we've seen. Then he went to the Nets and he became the starter, and at times he also became the backup, and he still looked really good. So I think for this team, he's also bringing what they need, because I don't think Vucevic is a good rebounder. You're bringing in one of the best rebounders of all time, and I think he's a way better defender than Vucevic. And he showed me that a lot last year, and they're going to need that if they really want to do something, because they do have the big guys in the East, and Evan Mobley and Giannis Antetokounmpo and Joel Embiid. He can stick better defense than Nikola Vucevic. I'm not saying he's going to stop those guys, but he's going to help out because he's just a big body and he helps out in that department. But then you got the guy DeMar DeRozan. I don't think we're getting the same year we got last year as far as like he was second team All NBA. He was dominant throughout the whole year. It kind of faded away towards the end of the year, especially in the playoffs, like normal. But he was having a really good year, and I don't think we're going to get that same DeMar DeRozan. And the reason why I don't think that is because I think we're going to get a new and improved Zach LaVine. And this is just my hope for Zach LaVine because I seen this video on TikTok, and it was like really true to me. Because the dude said, what's wrong with Zach LaVine? And like, I was about to click off on the video. I was like, you know what? Let me just watch this shit. Then he just started saying like, Zach LaVine has all the talent to be a top 15 player in this league, but he's just not there yet. And he doesn't know why. And I kind of agree with him, and I see why. Like when I'm comparing Zach LaVine to younger guys that's in his department, like a Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, Ja Morant, Trae Young, Zion, or Brandon Ingram, he can be up in that conversation. But he's just not there yet because I don't think he has the hunger to win like them guys. Like, since Ja's been in the league, he's been winning. Trae, ever since his second year, he's been winning. He took his team to the conference finals, and then he took his team to the playoffs last year. Ever since Devin Booker got a good team around him, they've been winning. With Zach LaVine, this is the first time he's had a good team around him, and they actually have been winning. But Zach LaVine, it was no reason why DeMar DeRozan should have been in one on that team last year. That's my whole point. Because I feel like Zach LaVine is a better player because he can literally do everything on the court better than DeMar DeRozan, shooting the mid-range better than DeMar DeRozan. He's a better three-point shooter. He's better at taking it to the rim. Zach LaVine is super talented, but I just don't think he has that hunger or he's smart enough yet to lead a winning basketball team. And that's what they need this year. And I'm hoping he has that with the experience that he got from last year because they were actually a really good team last year. And he was a major part of that before he started going in and out with injuries. And that's something else that needs to happen. He has to be healthy this year because they're going to need that because they're still the same team they were last year, but everybody else got better. So if they want to be a playoff team, he has to be the best player on the team. I don't think DeMar DeRozan can be the best player on this team for them to be a lock as a playoff team because looking at Zach LaVine, he has all the tools, bro. All the tools. The one thing he really doesn't have is playmaking, but as a passer, I would say he has gotten better than that. And of course on defense, he's not locked in. I'm not gonna lie. He has all the athleticism to be a good defender. He's just not locked in. And that's what you're going to get from some guys. I've given up on that. That's why they've also given up on that. That's why they surrounded him with Lonzo, Alex Caruso, Javonte Green, Pat Williams. That's why. Because they know he's not going to stick defense. So when looking at the team, I just think Zach has to be the number one for this team to take it to the next level. But then when we're looking at the rest of the team, Pat Williams, I think a lot of people still holding on for him to be baby Kawhi, and we don't know. He looks really fluid and really good in them Chris Berkeley highlights or them offseason highlights, pickup games. I think he was going against like Evan Mobley and Shea. He looked pretty decent, but like you can never bite into those. Like I don't know if that's him, and he's not going to get that opportunity with the Bulls because you still have DeMar, you still have Vucevic, you still have Zach LaVine, so I don't think he's going to be able to do that. But if he was able to bump his game up to 15 points per game and actually be good on defense, because he has flashes where he's really good and also flashes where he's just there. So if he's able to be consistent on defense, that can also help the team off the bench. Dalen Terry and Alex Caruso, they're going to be big for y'all. Dalen Terry kind of reminds me a lot of Alex Caruso, where he can just guard a lot of position and whatever you need, he can bring. If you need shooting, he can bring that. The same thing with Dalen Terry. If you need defense in any position other than center, he can bring that. Same thing with Dalen Terry. So I think he's going to be really big for this team. I think also this team is betting on Ayo Dosunmu to take a jump, which I just never been that big of a fan of the guy, so I'm not going to sit here and act like I know what he's good at. He can take a jump. He was decent last year. When I watched, he was decent, but he can take a jump. Vucevic, I don't think he's going to be as bad as last year. That's one thing I do think that's going to get better. I don't think he's going to be bad as last year. He was pretty bad. I don't think he's going to be bad. I think it was just they were all trying to get to learn to play with each other. Even him and Zach in their first year. Zach missed like the last month with COVID. Like the month that he got traded to the Bulls, Zach missed that month. So they really didn't have enough chemistry to play with each other. So I don't think he's going to be that bad this year. But looking at the team, I think their ceiling is the play-in. Like, dead ass. I see this is my top ACs. This is off the dome. Nets, Celtics, Bucks, 76ers, Cavs, Hawks, Raptors, Heat. Like that's it. That's the 8. I think all those teams are better than them. And a lot of people don't think the Raptors are better than them. They might not be a better regular season team, but in the 7-game series, they're washing the Bulls. Because them 5 black guys, long black guys, pause, will strap up everybody on the Bulls. I just think it's that simple. That type of defense they can play against the Bulls, especially their best defense that the Raptors play is zone defense. How do you break DeMar in the zone in the mid-range? You stick zone defense on them, and then you have OG Anunoby or Scotty Barnes or Pascal Siakam or Gary Trent guarding him. That's just going to be so hard for especially him, who always struggles in the playoffs. That's going to be so hard for him to do anything if that was to ever be a series. So I just have the Raptors being better, and I'm also betting on Scotty to be way better. And with a healthy Pascal Siakam throughout the whole year, I think they're going to be better. And then the Hawks, I just think they always had a better team. Just adding DeJounte Murray and having Clint and John Collins hopefully be healthy throughout the year, they're going to be better. So those are 8 solidified teams that are better than the Bulls. And I don't think they could beat any of those teams if one of those teams was to fall in the play-in. So I think their ceiling is the play-in. And I also kind of think their floor is the play-in because the guys under them, the Pistons, I know I said the Pistons, I wouldn't be surprised if they'd be better. Listen, when you're doing videos, sometimes you're going to say some dumb shit just out of talking. And that's what that was. They can't be better than the Bulls. But other than that, it's no teams below them that can really be better. So their play-in is like the 8th seed. And their ceiling is like the 8th seed, and then their floor is like the 10th seed. That's just how I see it because a lot of teams is way better. And that's how it is, bro. It's nothing wrong with that. They couldn't really do nothing this year. You have 36 or 33 million into DeMar. Zach's also getting a max. Vucevic is also getting like 28 mil. Lonzo's getting 20 mil. It's kind of hard to do anything. So you shouldn't really be mad at that. But shout out to y'all. Shout out to my boy L Murray. He's the reason why I did this video. I didn't even have it on the radar. But other than that, man, peace out.